Today we're going to talk about the Elita 4K in Salmon Run. In this series I break down weapons and how to use them in Salmon Run. The videos are short and they don't cover absolutely everything about a weapon, I just aim to make you feel a little bit more knowledgeable when playing Salmon Run. Number 1. The Elita 4K is a heavyweight charger that sacrifices mobility and ink consumption for damage and range. It is the most powerful charger in terms of overall damage per fully charged shot, but the trade-off is slow charge times and slow movement. Number 2. The Elita has the ink tank for 4 fully charged shots in Salmon Run. A fully charged shot uses roughly 25% of your ink tank. Each fully charged shot does 600 damage, which surpasses what any other charger can do with one shot. Fully charged shots also pierce through enemies, but I'll talk more about that later. It takes roughly 1.5 seconds to fully charge a shot, which you can argue isn't that long, but anticipating your shots is important and something I'll also mention later. The Elita can also store its charges when submerged in ink, so you're able to hold charges if you need to quickly move. You can hold charges for about 1.25 seconds. In Splatoon 2, scoped chargers were playable in Salmon Run, and those weapons have slightly different stats, but for Splatoon 3 there are no scoped variants. This change is generally for the better as mobility and awareness is improved as a result. Partial damage values range from 50 to 150, depending on how long you charge for. This allows some use for tap shots, but again, I'll talk more about this later on. Given its poor ink efficiency, you'll need to be careful when throwing bombs or eggs. After throwing a bomb, you're left with just barely enough ink to fully charge a shot. It's worth keeping that in mind. Number 3. To make this easy to digest, I will list off bosses and how the Elita takes care of them. Bosses that can be defeated with one fully charged shot. Steelheads. Steel eels. Scrappers, when you shoot the back of them. If you shoot the front of them, one fully charged shot does stun them. Slamming lids. Flipper floppers after they land. And all lesser salmonids. Bosses that can be defeated with 2 fully charged shots. Big shots. Drizzlers. Moors, but I wouldn't recommend it in 99% of cases. And flipper floppers before they land. Other bosses. You can tap shot stingers with partial charges for a quicker way of defeating them. I often use this in conjunction with bombs. This is also the same with fish sticks, but even if you can't get to it, painting the stick will help your teammates climb up it. For fly fish, you'll struggle. You're either relying on your team to deal with them, or you'll have to consider special usage. The other alternative is to weaken them by bombing one of the baskets and moving on. This reduces the amount of missiles they fire, and also potentially reduces the amount of fly fish that may continue to spawn, as the cap for each boss at any one time is free. Number 4. Like other heavyweight weapons, positioning is important as you'll need to prevent yourself getting overwhelmed. You also need to do this so you can anticipate knowing when to fire off your fully charged shots. With 600 damage, you'll want to make sure your shots mean something. Think of the different maps in Salmon Run. Are there places with height advantages? Is there terrain that lets you stay safe for a short while whilst charging your shots? One of the major issues with Salmon Run is pacing and movement. The game is extremely punishing for slower weapons and players that remain still. So even with heavyweight weapons, you'll need to regularly move around the map to stay safe and on top of slaying and objectives. You'll be expected to contribute to the overall objective of the game as well, which is collecting golden eggs, so often you'll notice heavyweight weapons tend to stay around or close to the basket area. This is fine, as this allows you to kill and run eggs, but you can't play too defensively. Regardless of what weapon you have, defensive play does not often yield good results because you never clear stuff fast enough. Getting comfortable with the Elita means eventually being able to take aggressive positions whilst acknowledging the limitations of the weapon. In addition, you'll be forced to use tap shots in different situations, so learning when to switch between taps and charges will benefit you in staying alive and maintaining your position. Number 5. Like a lot of other chargers, the E-liter's fully charged shot pierces through everything without armour. This means you can shoot multiple things at once, and where this becomes extremely beneficial is with lesser management. Cohocks are often a problem when they spawn in mass quantities, as they can slow you down so much with whatever task you're doing. As the E-liter, you have the range and the strength to completely clear paths of cohocks in one shot. This is so incredibly helpful when you're trying to run eggs or trying to reach a static boss. Salmon Run is often a game of trying to beat the timer, so achieving an objective faster naturally means that you're more likely to pass a wave. In addition, given the range the E-liter has, you're able to do this from positions of safety, which helps you keep alive and supports your teammates in the process. The E-liter is in a unique position as a supportive slayer. You can do a lot of clearing and killing, but not up front. It requires practice, patience, good awareness, and understanding when and where to fire your shots. I hope this video helps you appreciate the E-liter 4K a little bit more. Let me know what you think. I will see you soon.